Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm Teacher Oakley. In our last class here at Verbling, we did some exercises and talked about various discourse markers. And we're going to continue, actually, working on discourse markers a little bit in this class. Specifically, we're going to, through speaking and process explanation, practice using discourse markers to talk about sequential events. All right, when we're explaining a process, of course, is an explanation of you do this first, and then this, and after that, next, and then. Okay, so you're going to use these time indicator discourse markers to show what comes next. Sometimes you may have to use discourse markers to show that two things are happening at the same time. For example, simultaneously, meanwhile, while the steak is marinating, you want to start your charcoal grill. How to barbecue steaks. Okay, so you may be doing things at the same time. You may be explaining something that takes a longer period of time, so you have to use usually longer discourse markers of time after 2 days or after 24 hours. Immediately after, maybe very quickly. So the idea here is students who join me are going to explain a process, something very simple. How to brush your teeth. No need to explain how to design a rocket ship, okay? How to program a computer. We don't need to go there. Just very simple processes. A woman can explain how she makes up her face to go out in the evening. You can explain how to cook breakfast if you're going to have bacon, eggs, and toast. What do you cook first? What do you do? At the same time, you want to put the toast into the toaster. Let's keep it simple and concentrate on our discourse markers to show time sequence. Or, here's a big fat word for you, but basically meaning time sequence, chronological order. Chronology has to deal with time, so chronological order is what we're kind of concentrating on here. Again, students can pick your own poison, meaning you can choose whatever you would like to talk about. Keep it simple. Don't make things too complicated for yourself. How to change a tire, for example, possibly. How to brush your teeth. How to clean out the refrigerator. How to tie your shoes. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you would like to talk about. Even your personal process, like your daily routine. How to get up and go to work. Okay. Very common. I've had this class before. Very common to talk about food preparation, because food preparation is fairly simple, straightforward, and definitely involves chronological order. So, okay. Fine. While I'm waiting for students to show up, I'll explain how I make breakfast on Sundays. I like to have a big breakfast on Sundays. So, and usually I'm the one who cooks it. So here's what I do. I'm gonna have fried eggs and bacon and hash browns and toast. So first thing I'm going to do is go to my refrigerator and I'm going to get all my ingredients. All right. I'll take out my eggs, my bacon, my bread and butter, and maybe jam for toast, and what else? Oh, my hash browns. All right. Now, I usually keep the hash browns in the freezer, hash browns and the bacon, so I need to pull them out of the freezer an hour before I actually start preparing the food so they can thaw out. All right, this is how I do it. I'm going to be, I use 2 pans, 2 big frying pans. So I start out by putting the 2 frying pans on the stove. I'm going to put a little oil into 1 large frying pan first. And I will turn on the heat to a medium. Then I will turn the heat up to a medium heat. Next, I will add my hash browns so they can start frying because they take a while and I like them nice and crispy. Immediately after I start my hash browns, I will then fire up the second frying pan, and I don't even put any oil or anything in the frying pan. I'm going to start it on a medium heat, and then I would grab my bacon and then lay out the strips in the frying pan so they can start frying. Meanwhile, while the bacon is frying, I grab a plate and I put some paper towels on the plate so that when the bacon and the hash browns are cooked, I can transfer them to the plate and sort of drain the grease out so they won't be too greasy. Okay. While those things are frying, I'm also going to take out my pieces of bread and get them ready to put into the toaster. I will transfer the bacon as it is cooked and browned on both sides, and the hash browns as they are ready, golden brown. I will transfer them to my paper towels. And as soon as one or the other is done cooking, usually bacon first, I then am going to cook my eggs. I like to cook the eggs right in the bacon grease. So I'll start the eggs after the bacon is cooked. Once I drop the eggs in the pan, I will then immediately put the toast in the toaster. So the eggs and the toast will be ready at the same time. Hopefully my hash browns everything will be hot and prepared at the same time. So then after that, there's a flurry of activity while I'm quickly grabbing the hash browns, the eggs, and the toast all at once and loading them onto plates to be served to my family. Perhaps, if I'm feeling especially industrious or especially artistic, I will add a slice of fruit onto each plate and serve. There you go. Chronological order using then, next, after that, at the same time, simultaneously, to discuss a process. Hello, Max.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Now you know what I do on Sunday mornings. Because I take Sundays off from verbling. I make my family a big breakfast. Kind of a tradition in the Oakley Moody household. Max? Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes pancakes. Just
Actually, I'm not into cooking.
Yeah, no big deal. Okay, do you have another process that you would like to?
It's a bit challenging for me. I don't know what to explain and how to explain it.
Well, don't strain yourself, okay? Pick something very, very basic, how to brush your teeth, or, how to do the dishes. Something that you know very well. How to change a tire, I don't know.
Maybe
Um,
Aka.
how to fix a cell phone.
Yeah, no, it's a bit hard to explain.
It's a bit complicated. Right. Keep it simple. Okay. Hello, Ken, by the way.
Yes, hello.
All right.
Hello, Ken.
Hello, Max.
I would be next.
Oh,
Okay.
what? You want to wait? You want Ken to go first? Ken,
Yeah,
Max is
listen a bit.
he's putting you in the spotlight. He's putting you on the spot.
Mhm.
He's volunteering you.
What should I do?
Okay. We're going to practice more discourse markers, but discourse markers to talk about chronological order, the order we do things, to talk about a simple process.
Okay.
All right. How to cook something,
Mhm.
how to do a basic household chore, how to make your bed, do the dishes, whatever, iron your shirt, how to do more of a project like change your tire, change your oil in your car. I don't know. Whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay. How to join the bubbling class? That's very practical.
Yes, it is. Okay.
At the beginning, I need to start up my computer, and then I open the browser, and then I go to the bubbling site. After that, I choose the class, and I click the class button, and finally I finally see the join the class button, and then I can enter the class. That's a long process.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
what do you do when you find that nobody can hear you in the class? Okay. That's the problem. Okay. Oh, Fidel, come on back. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Once again, we're doing a little process explanation class. I'm sure you've been in this class before, I remember. Okay. Ken just did a very good job about explaining how to join a Verblin class. He used at the beginning and then, after that, finally, and actually to conclude, he used and then again. All right, that's what we're trying to do. Use different discourse markers to explain the order of things in a process. Okay. But Ken, I really want to ask you, what do you do if all those steps don't work, or you're in the class but no one can hear you? Then what do you do?
Yeah, last class that happened. Kind of maybe hung out slow, so my computer turns stable. I disconnect again and again. But anyway, I close the window and open the window again, and then my class turned to be normal situation. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I myself had a little difficulty even opening the Hangout today. I don't know why. Not sure. I can never tell if it's me. I mean, if it's the connection, my connection, or if it's the Hangout itself. I wish there was some way to figure that out. Is it my connection, or is it the Hangout, or is it Verbling? Is it server issue? You know, okay, here's one piece of computer technology that somebody needs to invent. An immediate diagnostic tool that will tell you, you have a problem, this is your connection. Like when you fly in an airplane, you have little lights that are going to tell you exactly what the problem is immediately when there's a problem. I think computers need that.
Yeah.
The problem is with the server. Do not panic. You can't do anything about it. The problem is with the website. The problem is with the browser. You know, this is something that needs to be invented, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, it would be very helpful to me, at least. There you go. Somebody who's watching, please make $1 million and just give me 10% and come up with this technology. Okay, Max, are you ready?
Maybe how to make call. I'll
How to
try
make-
to explain. Call.
How
A
to
call.
make a call? A call?
A call. A call. Yeah, a call.
Oh, come on. Doot. Okay, done.
Very simple. But you can struggle this problem like me sometimes. First
All
of all,
right.
you need,
Very good. First of all right, begin.
first of all, you need to find your cell phone.
Oh yeah, good one.
Sometimes it's happened with me. And to solve this problem, I have some kind of very vivid, I don't know how to explain, cover. Yeah.
Okay.
It's,
Vivid. That's,
no, of course it's not pink, but it's
Sure.
orange. Orange, yeah. And it's helped me to find it when I need it. Sometimes it's happened because I can have on my table 10, 20 cell phones on my table, and when I look at my table, where are my cell phones? A bit problem. Okay. After that, when you find, when you search it, you will try. You need to try to remember to whom you want to call. Okay. After, when you remember, you open your how to name it? How do you name it? Yeah. Call list.
okay. Yes.
Yeah. Call list. You pick up the person which you want to call and push green button. After that, and then as a result, you enjoying this call, talking this person.
Wait, I don't have a green button. Oh my God.
You doesn't have?
No,
You-
not on my phone.
You don't have? I don't know
No.
what to do if you don't.
It says call. So
Call button.
call button. You just
Yeah.
call. Okay. First of all, after that. Okay, Max, when you search it, okay, it should be. You mean when you find it?
Find it when you find it. Yeah.
When you find it. All right. Vivid is usually it's a not usually it is an adjective. So you have a cell phone cover with a vivid color, a bright color.
Vivid color.
Yes. So you can't say it is okay. It's an adjective. Okay, a couple of discourse markers first of all. After that. Okay, another one a new one that I didn't use and Ken didn't use. Okay, we can use when. Okay, when you remember who you're going to call. Okay, that also shows time sequence. Another way to say that is once you remember who you were going to call, once you started frying the eggs, or once you have turned on the computer. Okay, so we can also use that as a chronological order discourse marker. That was good. A new one I forgot about. Okay, you go to the call list and or contacts list
Contact.
in English. Usually in English it says contacts. Okay, you go to your contacts and you pick out who you want to call, not pick up.
Pick up. Okay.
Pick out. So if you're choosing something like I have to pick out what shirt I'm going to wear every day, I pick out to choose. Okay. Okay. Max, all right, that was a very, very simple one. All right, maybe think of another. We're probably going to come around and we're all going to try it one more time, most likely. So try to think of another one if you can.
Okay.
Okay, Heidi. Heidi, what process would you like to explain for us today? I know at least twice you've taught me how to make a shirt.
About Japanese traditional pickles.
Ooh. Pickles. Ooh. Oh, very good.
Named plum pickles. It's very, very sour. At first, February, the plum bloomed. And then the flower is very beautiful. People gathered in the place to see the plum flowers. Then people can harvest in June. The end of June, we need to buy a plum fruit in the supermarket. We should choose beautiful color and shape. It's more delicious. And at first, we need to wash. First step, we need to wash all plums and wipe up to dry. And then we need to put the plum fruit in the jar. At first, a plum fruit and next salt, and plum fruit next salt, plum fruit next salt, like that. Then close the cap of the jar. Put the jar in the dark and cool place for 1 month. 1 month later, July around 20th, we call it doyo. Doyo is the hottest in Japan. That day, we need to put the plums on in my case, newspaper. Spread on the newspaper to dry up the fruit. We need to put under the sun for 1 week. Then the plum fruits became a lot of wrinkles. Then after that, we need to return to the jar again. And we have some special herb. We call it shiso. Shiso color is kind of purple. Then we need to wash that leaves. Then put the salt and squeeze. It became red color. Put on the plum pickles. Then close the cap again. The plum pickles became red color. 1 month later, we can eat it. Oh, you are muting. Teacher.
Sorry. Yes, I was muted. Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. I forgot. I got so excited, I got distracted. I really want to try these. I have never tried this before. I love pickles and relishes.
Oh, really?
Yes, definitely. I live in the Philippines now, and my refrigerator, I'm constantly buying olives and sweet pickles and sour pickles and dill pickles and kimchi and relish, corn relish and salsa, and I love these kinds of things. I really do. So I really want to try to see if I can find these plum pickles. I am very interested in finding them.
There are many kinds of rice ball. We call it onigiri. Inside, for example, tuna and mayonnaise or a lot of things. But my best is a plum inside of plum.
Okay. I really want to try them out. Yeah. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Filipinos don't eat pickles or any relishes or anything like this, but I have like the top shelf in my refrigerator is just full of all that stuff. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, okay, let me give you some feedback. Okay, awesome use of discourse markers at first, then at the end of June. Okay, a longer period of time, we'll use a longer phrase, a time phrase or time clause to, again, usually to show a longer period of time. Great, at the end of June. Terrific. I loved it. The first step, and usually we should say the first step is to blah, blah, blah. All right, using the idea of first step, second step. Also, very useful. Discourse marker. Okay. All right, you were talking about the process of the plums and the salt. The plums, first the salt, then the next the salt. Sorry, first the plums, next the salt, first the plums. Okay, plums, then salt, then plums, then salt, then plums. Sometimes you just use the same discourse marker when we're doing a repeated process. That's okay to do that. That's quite normal in English. All right, and then another one 1 month later. Okay. All right, you said in Japan they have a word for the hottest days of the summer. Doyo?
Yes, doyo.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to share with you that English speakers also have an expression. We call the hottest days of summer the dog days.
Oh, dog days.
Yeah, very common. And it depends where you are, actually.
That day, people eat eel.
People what?
Eel, like fish,
Eel.
but long.
Long like a snake.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've eaten eel before. Yeah, you know what? Eel is very good when it's smoked.
Mm-hmm.
I've had smoked fish before. Smoked eel is really delicious. It's great.
Okay, next time I explain about eel. How to.
Oh, great. Terrific. Terrific. I worked in kitchens for many years. I'll tell you the most crazy, scary job I ever had was cleaning the eels. Well, I'll tell you about it. It's a little bit of a process, a short one. I'll share it with you. One last point, Heidi. You said you dry up the plums.
Mm.
It would probably be better to use dry out the plums.
Ah.
Because we use dry up, it means up, clean up your room. It means completely. So you'd be drying them till there's absolutely no moisture left at all, entirely. So, and sometimes dry up, supplies of, my bank account dried up. It means there's nothing left at all. So instead, better to use dry out. You dry out your clothes when you hang them outside. All right, you dry them out. You don't dry them up. Dry up would mean that your clothes disappear. So dry out your clothes. So you're probably drying them out. Okay, I want to share with you a process, and maybe Heidi can elaborate on it later. It was my job as just a kitchen worker when I was pretty young. I don't know, high school, 16, 17. I was just a dishwasher and a just kitchen helper. And anyway, a fisherman would come and he would sell eel to the restaurant. And we would get eel in a big bag, like a rice bag, like a 50-kilo rice bag, or potato bag, a burlap bag. And the fishermen would cut their necks and cut them down the middle and remove all their insides, remove the guts, and put them in the bag. and we would have to, put the bag, maybe put ice on them to keep them fresh until I had a chance to clean them. Well, okay, the cleaning process was like this. First, I would go down to the refrigerator, to the walk-in refrigerator, and get this bag full of eels. Then I would fill up a large sink, a very deep, large sink, like you might have in a restaurant, full of very cold water, extremely cold water. Now, my job was to kind of clean them up, make sure they're thoroughly cleaned out inside, and also to tie them up so that they could be smoked. They would sit in the walk-in for a day, 24 hours to 48 hours before I would have a chance. And actually, the chef wanted to do that. I'm not sure why, but I would dump the eels into the cold water, and they would be in the cold walk-in, so they would be still. But when I dumped the eels into the cold water, they would amazingly, after 2 days, come back to life and start thrashing around, whirling and twirling, tying up around themselves. If I stuck my hand in the water to grab an eel, it would wrap around my arm really quickly. It was very scary, and then I would have to clean them out inside and out. Very scary job, because these things were dead for 2 days. They still would attack you. Yeah, very, very freaky thing, I'll tell you. It always unnerved me, made me a little nervous. Very strange thing, and gave me bad dreams. Okay, Ken. Back to you.
Yes.
Ken, we've probably got time for everybody else to explain one more process.
Mm-hmm.
So, what process would you like to explain? Cooking, cleaning, doing something, anything, whatever.
How to subscribe podcast show.
Oh, all right. Interesting. Okay. Great.
And at the beginning, you need to download iTunes from Apple site. And then you go to the Apple Store. Inside the software, you can find the Apple Store button. And after you open the Apple Store, you can find a small search box and write your favorite show's name in that search box and search it. And if you find your favorite show, click subscribe button. That's the one way of subscribing the show. And another way, go to your favorite radio show, probably radio show's site directly. If that show has a iPod podcast is available in the show, you can see the podcast button to the site in the site. And if you click that podcast button, iTunes automatically opens in your computer. So you click subscribe button in that iTunes. That's how to download your favorite podcast show. I mean, download or subscribe. And if you subscribe the show, if the show when the show updated, and you when you open the iTunes, the show automatically download into your iTunes. That's how to download podcast show.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any Apple products.
But it's Windows version is available, so you
Windows
can
version.
use it on Windows. I use it on Windows.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Good enough. Okay. Couple. Very good job. All right. After that, next. Okay, using at least some basic discourse markers. Couple of points of grammar. if I may, give you some feedback.
Mhm.
I'm going to explain how to subscribe podcast. It should be how to subscribe to a podcast.
To a podcast.
Uh-huh. And similarly, one way of subscribe show should be one way of subscribing
Mhm.
to a show. Okay, much better.
Right.
Subscribing
Mhm.
to a show. And last, again, subscribe. That's how to get a subscribe. Subscribe is a verb, so subscription.
Subscription. Mhm.
Yeah, subscription. And then from, okay, from a website or from the Apple Store or whatever. Okay. Okay. How many subscriptions do you have, Ken?
Probably more than 10 now. And
Oh, okay. It's reasonable.
most of them are Japanese show, but some of them, maybe 70% Japanese and 30% English. And I often listen to podcast shows to listening practice or to get new information.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of that, I began to be familiar with British accent because BBC prepare a lot of podcasts, so we can find it easily.
Okay.
Yeah. Before that, it was difficult to listen, but
Right.
now maybe RP is okay, but I don't know the other accent of Britain. Britain has
Right.
a lot of different accents.
Okay. Good advice for those who would like to become accustomed or to improve their skills listening to a British accent, like Max for the IELTS test, for example.
Actually, I subscribe.
What's that?
But yeah, but not on the App Store. I subscribe on their channels on YouTube and listen the BBC. Very different channels.
Right.
It's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay, Max. What other process would you like to explain for us?
I don't know. 2 days ago, one my friend asked me about how to start learning English.
Oh boy! Wow, that's a hard one.
It's very. I don't know what to say. It's a little bit easy when you can communicate this, like me.
Yeah. Well, that's
yeah. But if you can communicate and you don't understand
anything at all, and not one
nothing,
word.
and yeah, it's a little bit hard. But what I said to him, I said, first of all, you need to listen more and more, just without understanding, just listen. You need to pick up some topic, some short story, and listen this story a lot of time, 10, 20, 100, 200 times, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, until you completely understand the story and you can repeat it. Of course, after that, how I said it to him, he said it's so boring.
Yeah.
It's so boring, and I didn't find what to say. You need to do it if you want. If it's boring, of course it's boring, but you need to do it.
Right.
And
okay. After that, I couldn't think of what to say.
I couldn't think what to say.
Be a common phrase. Okay. All right. All right. And also, what I said to him or what I told him. You could say said to him, what I said to him. But then you're talking about the past and you're explaining something to somebody. So what I said to him was that first he needs to, okay, so you preface the beginning of the process, all right, by saying what I told him was that, okay, bye Ken, thank you. What I told him was that he needs to, or he should, or first he needs to, like that. So you say all of that stuff first, and then start the process explanation. All right, in your story there.
It's
Do you understand?
not yeah, I understand, but it was not explanation.
Right. But
Yeah.
then you explain that process after to him. So, well, okay, it's reported speech. What I told him was to first, or that he needs to first, blah, 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 blah. Now just do your
What
process.
I told him was the first your step would be to start to listen more and more every day. Something like that?
What I told him was, after what I told him, you need was. What I told him, and then was, because now the verb was, this is what I told him. Then this, what you said. What I told him was to, okay, was to first, blah, 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 and then start the process explanation. That's reported speech.
Okay.
Okay. Reported speech for process explanation. Okay. It's very funny. I mean that's I have very, very small children, and that's, reading them the same story over and over and over and over again until they know and even recognize what the words look like on the page. Yeah. Yeah, learning from scratch, learning from the very beginning is boring, and it involves a lot of repetition, for sure. I think.
But now it's more interested for me.
Oh yeah, it's going to be more interesting, of course. Of course. Repetition, okay. I mean, that's you're talking about principles of learning and teaching, teaching styles. You have bottom up and top down. Very basically, bottom up is just repetition, memorization, and just repeated information. Learning small parts like the grammar. And
Very
then,
deeply.
right. Yeah, like by heart. Top down is when you just conversation, and then I correct what you're saying. What we're doing now is more like top down learning. I let you just talk, and then I give you a little feedback and some pointers. That's top down. What you're describing, to start from the beginning, is very much bottom up. Sing the ABC song until you know it by heart. All right. Okay. But anyway, that's just that has really not much to do with it. But in the process of learning, basically you move from bottom up learning to top down learning. Eventually, as you go through the different levels of language learning, you start to do less exercises and more just practice reading a novel or practice conversing with people, much more discussing philosophy or debating an idea. That's very top down. Yeah. So that's the idea. It is chronological order. You have to move from sort of one style of learning to another. And maybe that's just my opinion. Others may disagree. But anyway.
In Russian, we have some story about one guy. He starts learning English. How to say it? Both sides.
Okay.
From ends start advantages vocabulary learn, and start learn vocabulary beginner. It's
Okay.
some kind of story for children. It's, of course, he doesn't succeed in that.
Okay, I see. All right.
How to do not do things.
Okay, how not to do a process.
Yeah.
Next.
Do
Yeah, right. Okay, even if it's negative, actually that's a valuable point for this class. Even if it's negative, if you're preventing something in a process or you're trying to show how to explain how not to do things, you could still use discourse markers. Don't do this. And, okay. Next, make sure you don't. Okay, you can use discourse markers to introduce negative ideas as well. Okay, let me take it back to Heidi. Heidi, are you going to talk? Are we going to talk eels?
Yes, yeah.
Cool, awesome.
Okay, at first we buy eels in a fish shop or a supermarket. Then, yeah, we can buy eels already cooked. But if I need to cook, I need to buy eel still fresh and living. Then, at first, I need to make sauce. We call it kabayaki. It means the Japanese style of eel, roast eel. At first, I make sauce. I mix it with the soy sauce and the sugar and some sake, and boil it a little to make the sauce denser. And then put eel on the cooking board. Cooking board should be wooden cooking board. And then I put some nail. Put some nail in the eyes. Again, the cooking board. Not to move ear to move. Fix the move with a nail. Then I'm living in Osaka. Osaka, we open the eel's body in the belly. But Tokyo is different. They open the eel from the back because cutting belly is like harakiri, do you know? Samurai warriors needed to cut their body.
All right.
Very famous.
Yep, sure.
Tokyo is the Edo period. They are dominated by the samurai warriors, so they keep cutting belly. But in Osaka, this is kind of commercial area, so we don't care of that. So the way is cutting leaves and open it, remove the bone, and then clean up the inside. Then after that, we put skewers, 4 or 5 skewers. The first very close to the head, and next the body 2 or 3, and close to the tail. Then after that, we need to roast on the charcoal. Charcoal is best to roast that wheel, and reverse and upside. Then put dip into the sauce. Then roast again. Dip to the sauce. Roast again. We need to repeat 2 or 3 times. Then it's finished. Cut the eel for 2 or 3 parts. Put the rice, hot rice, on the bowl, and on the rice, put the eel. Then pour the sauce again.
Wow, sounds great. I'm starving. Unfortunately, I can't eat for 3 more hours. I've got 7 hours of classes booked in a row, so I have to just starve. And I'll probably spend my entire day talking about food. Okay. All right. I have. Okay. I want to talk to you a bit about vocabulary, actually, both English and Japanese, to tell you the truth. All right. The eels. Okay. They wriggle around. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not sure why we have 2 words. We have wriggle, W-R-I-G-G-L-E, and we have wiggle, W-I-G-G-L-E.
Yeah.
Which both pretty much mean the same thing. So I have no explanation why that is so. But to move in kind of herky-jerky, children wiggle in their seats, right, when they're impatient. Both words are equally valid, and they both pretty much mean the same thing. Also, I love your expression that you turn the heat up to make the sauce dance. Okay, I completely understand what you mean. In English, we say simmer. That point where it just has little bubbles and it's, well, dancing. It's simmer. That's what we say. And also, when we're roasting something, especially maybe in the oven, roasted, but also over charcoal, as you mentioned, and you put sauce on it and roast. There's a word for that in English as well, and that's called to baste. That's verb. It's a verb. Simmer is also a verb. To baste. All right. And Americans have turkey for Thanksgiving. You have to baste the turkey every, I don't know, 10 minutes. It takes hours to cook a giant turkey. You need a big oven. But one thing you must do is you must baste the turkey frequently, every 10 minutes or so, with the oil and the juice from the turkey as well as seasonings and whatever else. Yeah, it's called basting. Okay. And now, vocabulary, what's it called? What's the ritual suicide that Japanese do?
Harakiri.
Okay, so see, Max and I were in another class a couple days ago, and
Don't you know harakiri? Many
harakiri. Okay, English speakers completely mispronounce it. Right? I'm going to tell you, they think it rhymes, so we call it Harry Carry, like Harry Carry. Yeah. All right.
In Russian, we name it harakiri.
That's a lot closer.
Yeah, even Italian said harakiri. Harakiri.
Really? Okay. Well, okay. All right. Yeah, Americans always mispronounce it. All right. Harry Carey. Okay. Okay. And one other thing, we don't care of that. Okay, Tokyo does it that way, but we don't care of that. Should be very common English phrase, we don't care about that, or I don't care about that. I don't care about that. We never say we don't care of that. I know what you mean, obviously, in regards to that thing, we don't care. So we don't care about, I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me, it doesn't matter. It's not important. Don't care about something. Or someone you cannot care about. I don't care about Bob. I don't care what he says. I don't care. I don't care about Bob. Okay, you cannot care about a person. You cannot care about, oh, there's a new law the government is passing to tax cigarettes, but I don't care about that. I don't even smoke, so it doesn't matter. Okay, there you go. Okay. Max, how about you? Would you like to try some pickled plums or some delicious roast eel?
It's, I don't know.
I don't know.
What is it?
Eel? Roast eel? It's like it's not a snake, it's a fish, but appearance it looks like a snake. It's very long. It's a lot thicker than a snake usually, but it's
Have you
long.
eaten Japanese style? No.
Who?
Eel.
Me?
Eel
Me?
Japanese style.
Me or Max?
Have you never
I have.
eaten? Ah,
I love Japanese food. Max, do you like Japanese food?
I think I've never tested.
Oh my goodness,
Only
really?
sushi. Only sushi.
Okay. Well, there's a lot more kinds of things. Dumplings and noodles and all kinds of things. Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Oh, definitely. Definitely it's interesting and very delicate. They don't over flavor things, which I like. I love Japanese food. Okay. I have to go.
Maybe
I
I'll
have to
play.
class. Thank you very much.
thank you very
Bye.
much. Goodbye.